Let's do 24 volt. So, I'm going to try to be a better cameraman this time. I really need a tripod or something. Selfie stick, like a total millennial. Okay, so when we wire an engine that's got a 24 volt starter on it, there's a couple of things. And I'm just going to start out with the warning. If you wire it wrong, you're going to have fire, or it's going to start on its own, or both. Okay, so please be very diligent with this, okay? All right, first things first about 24 volt. We're taking two 12 volt batteries, and they do need to be 12 because just like with a 12 volt system, you only have the available power in your weakest battery, and we are hooking them in series, like old school Christmas lights. Christmas lights are wired in parallel now. This adds our voltage. It does nothing to our amperes. So if we have a shitty battery, actually 24 volt batteries set up for 24 volt systems usually have 1200 cold cracking amps, not 850, but we're just rolling with that number because that's what a 65 series battery is. Assuming that's what you'll have, that's what was there. All right, so first things first. Positive on battery 1 hooks to negative on battery 2. Number 1. Number 2. And this matters. All right, I'll show you why in a second. Okay. Positive on battery 2 hooks to our power supply on our starter. Same thing about the strap between the starter solenoid and the starter body, right? The other one goes to our starter solenoid. And you go, why is there a solenoid? That wasn't in your 12 volt. Well, we can put one in our 12 volt, but it's just extra straps and unnecessary steps, okay? The reason why is on the majority of 24 volt starters, make sure that you double check. The solenoid needs 24 volt, okay? I think all the starters that needed 12 to the solenoid are gone. So just make sure, look at the starter and check the stamp on it. Everything that's 24 volts should have a 24 volt solenoid on it. So notice we got a 4-post solenoid. This is very important. The big posts that go across are where you run the 24. All right, not the other side. So this is our signal 24. All right. Now we come over here to battery 1. This is very important, and this is where our wire to our 12 volt key switch goes. Okay, this has to have 12 volts on it. If you hook it to this battery, it will have 24. Hook it to battery number 1. All right, now ground on battery 1 goes to chassis and to ground on our starter. Why do we have 2? Because if you don't have ground, nothing works. That's always true. All right, now ignition, key on power, 2 ECM or fuel pump must be 12 volts. Must be 12 volts. I do not care. It must be 12 volts. Don't care anything else. If that does not have 12 volts, no good, okay? Do not hook it up and check it live. All right? I'm serious. Don't hook it up and check it live. Make sure that you have 12 going in here and you will have 12 coming out here. But if you don't check this first and you crank that and you've got 24 here, it's going to pop the ECM. All right. Starter, signal 1, 12 volts, should go over here to the little post on our solenoid, and that's going to go to ground. It does not have to go to this ground. It just needs to go to ground. It's done after that, okay? Questions? That's it. It's pretty straightforward. Before you do anything, check voltage here. This should be 24. That should be 24. This should be 12, so that you get 12 here. Very, very important, okay? And in emergency, to unhook all this, unhook this one. Make sure you got your tools there. You got the right size. This is why I encourage y'all to try to make sure that all of your nuts on your batteries match. That way you're not having to, go through 3 different sizes of wrench, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all, get a deep socket and a wrench. Not a deep socket and a ratchet, not a wrench. Because even a ratcheting wrench, it puts you too close to hitting this. Former student, I could name names, literally told him not to use his new gear wrench for that. And as he was doing it, he looked up at me and said, why? I'm not going to hit it, and arced it and blew up a brand new battery and ruined his gear wrench. It warped it because it welded it, because that's a lot, right? 850 amps is a lot more than we weld with. Okay. There's your 24 volt. Pretty straightforward.